Hello, everybody, and welcome to At the Picnics show number 21, the final show of the season. We've had an absolute ripping time, Danny. We've had the pleasure of interviewing some awesome people in the industry. And to finish up for this season, we've got the leading jockey, Shaun Cooper, who we've wanted to get on for a while, but he's sort of already dobbed other people in.
He's been dodging the gauntlet for the whole season, and the bashful media shy, not so much person has finally decided that we can have a chat with him leading into our grand finale. So congratulations on a good season. Leading rider has been taken one again, and what a stellar. And you had some success in New South Wales at the weekend too.
He did.
Yeah, thank you very much. 3 years in a row is pretty one to take with a pill, but it's something I've always set myself out to do every season. You know, like to go out there with a bit of a incentive. So for it to all pan out, it's not easy. Pretty competitive out there. I'm very happy with myself and everyone else who's been around me and supported me. So appreciate it more than anything. And to go over to the border on the weekend and ride my first winner over the border on the weekend, that was pretty cool, just to feel that, you know, you measure up against all the other boys over there.
Absolutely.
It's a bit different over there. You go the other way, obviously. Did you find it they were pretty sharp out the gates and a lot quicker, or did it compare to down here a bit too still now?
Well, I had 5 rides, and 2 of them were Victorian horses, and they definitely were like, what's going on here? They struggled around the bends. They sort of laid out a bit, and I definitely noticed it with the New South Wales horses. They railed the rail really well, like naturally as, and made it a lot easier. Definitely noticed that. The speed, don't know so much about the speed. They're like us, you know, you have those 3 kilo claimers who go out hammering tongs and you do your speed maps and stuff and do your form and you go, Jesus, I'm the outside leader here. I'm about 8 lengths back, sitting third, chasing the speed. So that's picnic racing down to
that one out the window. Yeah. So they would have been a good bunch over there. They're normally pretty hospitable and make you feel pretty welcome.
Well, yeah, no, they were really really welcoming, but there was 2 other boys in the room with me, so there was 3 boys in total and probably 3 or 4 girls in the other room. So they're very light on riders. We'd only just started the day and they were asking me if I'd come back the following week and stuff like that, and I said, look, if I can't, there'd be 3 or 4 other people back in Victoria who'd be straight on the boat and keen to get down there, and they were all for it. So put your hands up, guys, if you want to keep riding. And they're struggling. They said they have to scratch horses when acceptances come out because they can't get enough riders.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's been pretty desperate up there for a while. I went over there a few years ago for the same reason and didn't know a soul there, and went up, and I think I ended up having 4 and 5 rides the 3 or 4 times I went up. And I was the same. I sort of got up there and went, oh my God, how we think some of our tracks are rough. These guys are red dirt, concrete hard, and some of the barriers look like they're mesh gates.
Wow.
I'll give you one thing.
I don't know how much their running rails have improved.
Yeah, these ones were metal running rails, but I tell you what, this track was better than all our tracks we've got on our whole circuit. The gates were the worst gates on our whole circuit. They had 3 barrier boys. One of the boys would have been probably 15 years old, went to school and stuff, and there was 3 of them. And I was thinking, if one thing plays up here like that, that's just one thing that they're probably is a bit behind us, but everything else is very forward over there. I'll give them that. They're probably 40% better prize money. They're paying quite a bit more per ride. They've been paying for scratchings since day one. The club gives you 150, 200 cash for travel. yeah, no, it's worth definitely going for a 7-8 hour trip. And yeah, no, it's good. I think both of the Victoria and New South Wales picnic associations should sort of, bond a bit and do something like.
I'm
Like
sure
it
that
then.
we wouldn't mind doing it, but Sydney aren't necessarily very forthcoming with being cooperative with Victorian racing traditionally. They don't tend to like sharing meetings or sharing the big picture with us. Centre stage is
Seems like
what I'm trying to
bit
think
of a competition. I asked a couple of the top boys there, and I said, how many meetings do you guys have in a year? And they said around 24, 25. I was quite surprised by that because I thought we had about 32, 34 in 6 months,
Now, in the first race, Shaun, you had Don Dwyer's Kalina, who was a maiden, and you got up, which was fantastic for Don. And then in, I think it was race 5, you had Don's other one, My Boy All Too Greedy, who chased him hard. That thing went a mile out in front, and I noticed on the turn he did look a little bit wobbly. Did he try and run wide or got a bit confused?
No, he actually ranged up really nicely, and he'd done no work in the run, and he actually come around that bend about 350 out, and they'd moved the gates up to a little chute, and he's come around the bend and gone, Jesus, what are they doing there? So he's actually come back underneath. Everything was really new to him, Like he was well behaved. The trip was really good for him. He was glued to Kalina as his little girlfriend.
Yeah.
He looked at the winning post, which he always does pretty much everywhere he goes. But he travelled nice, and he travelled up beautiful. He did no work. He hit the front, and you've seen those gates at the top of the turn, top of the straight, and he's gone, geez, I've moved them. So he's come back underneath me. Then I've got up him a bit, and he's travelled into it. And he's hit the front quite nicely. And then this other thing out the back just sort of followed me the whole race. One of Harvey's horses, Jerry
Harvey. What's he doing having a horse at Grenfell?
Yeah. he's had 2 Swiss Ace 4-year-old mares.
Yeah.
Come up against both the Don horses in the first, and it's just peeled off my back, and it sort of got the job done. But it was favourite, so they must have known something. I'm like, Kalina's been running, seconds and thirds around the provincials here, not beaten far, and it's only just got the job done at like a picnic meeting. So the form and the horse quality there is way up compared to us.
Okay. That's interesting, and maybe that's why the prize money is different. I mean, in the picnics, it's $5,000 races, and up there it's $7,500 races. And I noticed when I got my collect for running second was quite nice this time, that in Victoria.
Yeah,
so,
but in saying all of that, Georgie Boucher was saying that she's come over the border because they only pay first, second, and third over there in prize money.
Yes.
I don't know whether that's changed.
It has changed.
Okay.
Yeah. I run 6th the other day, and I got paid a percentage for that.
Okay.
Yeah, righto. So that's something that's changed in the last couple of years then.
Yeah, it was only this season's been a big boost because I went over there last year and rode, and it was 105 a ride. Now it's 150, and it was only top 3. And I went over there for 3 and run 3/4. So we got no prize money.
Yeah,
but this year, when I went over for 5, I think we had first, second, third, fourth, and the 6th, and I got paid a percentage of everything.
Nice, so. Good work, awesome.
Yeah.
Now, Danny, we'll have a quick look at tomorrow night's field, the Corinthian.
Yep.
Quite a nice field this year, and of course, you won't be running in the horrific weather you had last year, not unless something changes very quickly.
No, thank goodness, because that was certainly a bit of a dampener to last year. It was downright
definitely a dampener.
Horrible.
So let's look at the top weight first, Gwenny Begg, who you've had the pleasure of riding, and you won the Hillsville Cup dead heating with another horse in the race, which is Seedall. $3.20 favourite, carrying 69 kilos, and got Lee Taylor on board. Obviously the favourite, and obviously has a massive chance.
Yeah, the market sort of surprised me a little bit that her and See It All weren't a bit closer in the market. See It All obviously gets in a bit lighter. So that was sort of a little bit of a surprise to me. I thought they would have been a lot closer representation in the betting, but no, look, her form is great. She's very versatile. She can come from behind. She can sit up on the speed. She can lead. The barriers have played a bit of a part in all of this as well. Sort of her, Dishes, See It All, Aristobo, they've all drawn out in the car park. So, but they all come in a bit because the emergencies drew inside of them. So
just
not
for people,
quite so bad.
I'd declare it for you, on it.
Don't worry. Georgie and I hatched this plan quite a while ago. And yeah, so I'm pretty shirty on myself for getting done for excessive whip use on my own bloody horse. But I'll be there. I'll be cheering in Georgie's corner. The horse is camping here Friday night. So after the event.
Nice.
And I've had a lot of success with Georgie. She's I've ended up being great mates with her over the few seasons that I've ridden for her. She's a hell of a lot of fun. And yeah, so it's going to be a good race. There's solid form in it everywhere. Like even Chili Dog with Dylan on it. It ran a cracking race at Ararat the other day. Drawing where he's drawn, he can lead. Femme Americane, it's drawn the one, it gets back. Is Tyson going to be able to get out from drawing so low? That'll be an interesting one, whether he's going to be able to get a clear run or not. And
has Lee won a Corinthian before?
I don't know that he has. So look out, there could be a big fine coming if he salutes too heavily too. So look out, Leroy. They'll be keeping an eye on you.
Be nice to see anyway.
Just for everyone
it would be, yeah.
to know, there is a field of 14, but there's only 10 in the field because that's the most you normally have in a picnic race. So 11, 12, 13 and 14 are all emergencies. So let's get to number 2, Dishes. Your ride, Shaun. Great run last start. She mixes he mixes his form up a bit, doesn't he? He's a hard one to follow, but on his day, he's probably one of the best, if not the best horse in the race.
Yeah, well, on his day with the right, when he's half down in the weights, he's competitive, But once they bang him up in the weights, he's a free rolling horse, so he's quite vulnerable late.
This would nearly be his lightest weight in quite a few starts, wouldn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, 67 and a half he's got.
Yeah, he's been sitting up around 70 and 71 most of the season.
Which sort of it definitely pulls him up over a mile.
Yeah.
So if he gets a nice run and does everything right, Don's put his little magic touch on him, he'll take some catching, I think. But there's a couple of back markers there that I rode and won races on this season, which, I would be happy to ride any horse on that race and I still wouldn't be confident to win it. So it is a very competitive race.
It is.
So it's going to take the best ride from all them jocks out there. So good luck to everyone, and don't overthink it, China. You're on the favourite, but
currently Dishes is at 10-1. Number 3, Continuation, is at $7.50. It's got Henry Jaggard on, who's claiming 2. So 67 down to 65. Trained by the leading trainer in Troy Kilgour. Every chance to win this, Danny.
My only concern is a lot of his better form has been up over the longer trips, 2,000 plus, but I'm sure Troy's given him a nice freshen up, and with the claim brings him in really well as well.
Yep.
So he's going to be a really interesting runner. He's gutsy and he'll dig in and have a go. So it'd be interesting to see where they go with him from that gate, being over the shorter trip, whether they try and sit him up on the pace somewhere so as he can just sort of keep rolling.
Yep.
So yeah. He's an interesting runner, definitely. Like Shaun said, you wouldn't knock back a ride on anything in this field at the moment. They're all thereabouts. It's a really solid field, and it's going to be a really interesting show.
Number 4, Colossal Star, currently 19s. Got our friend Jack Vigona on. Good to see Jack back. He's had a bout of glandular fever, and he's keen as anything to get back in the saddle. So, looking at Colossal Star's form, it's never won over this distance. It's won over shorter distances. So probably will be struggling a bit, but don't be surprised if it leads, and it leads for a long while.
It could be in it for a long way out. It's and look, you fail to remember how good a partnership these guys are. They're pretty deadly on their day. And certainly if it was the start of the picnic season one, he would be a lot shorter than what his price represents at this point in time, but he'll be another interesting one to see him over this trip. If he settles in that and gets a good run, he could be in it. He'll be in it for a long way out.
You'll definitely get a good run because Jack doesn't know how to lead.
Jack will be watching this, Shaun. Number 5.
I'm glad you're feeling better, Jack. You can give Shaun plenty tomorrow night.
I'm sure he will. Number 5, Femme Americaine. $4.20 at the moment. Trained by Annie Goebel, Tyson Barton. They've been a good combination. She's a frustrating horse, this one. She'll be rocketing home. Probably looking for more than 2,000, but geez, there's no reason why she can't win this either.
Absolutely.
I'd love to be on that one.
Yeah, if these guys up in front get a bit helter-skelterish and there's a bit of pace on, there's every chance she'll be the last one rocketing home. Down in the weights, I reckon she's pretty well weighted in this with what's around her and that sort of thing. My only concern is drawing in at Cranbourne on her. That's going to be it's going to be interesting to see how far she gets back to snag off the fence, if that's what she does, or whether they're going to try and ride her for luck and see if they can get the gaps late. So that'll be an interesting watch.
It will.
I think there's no one to really out the back with him, so I think he's going to get quite a clear run, you know, and he'll pull it out and bounce all over it late, and he'll probably get there.
Oh,
well, in saying that, if Theodore can get the snag and get back and get cover, he'll settle, but which he did in the Hillsville Cup. So those two wouldn't surprise me if they are the two that are poking along out the back. But
you just never know whether that Theodore's going to grab the bridle or not, do you?
Nah. Last year I rode him in this race and it was pouring with rain and he jumped well, but he settled a treat. But I think everybody did because we're copping that much mud in our faces. But when that Hillsville run, he settled really, really good. So he's another interesting watch. If he behaves himself and uses his manners, he'll be good.
Yep, number 6 seed, all 16s. I think way overs. Forget about last start. Didn't like the wet at Balnarring, and
pulled too hard and was an absolute dork.
Yep, you're right. If Mel McDonald can get this thing to settle, it'll be coming home hard with a Femme Americaine. So for everyone out there that wants to have a bet in this race, don't bet on the 6 because I'm picking it, which means I can't win. Number 7, Aristabo, got the crafty Ray Douglas on it. 41s, probably fair enough too. It looks a bit out of its depth in this race. What do you reckon, Danny?
Look, if Razor's on it, I'm sorry, but you can never ride it at all.
I know.
It's had a couple of really good runs.
If you got a spare 50 in your pocket, you have 25 each way on that bugger.
Exactly. Yeah, look, if Razor's on it, you can't ride him off. He will be riding it all the way home, and you guarantee.
I thought they might have put the claimer on it. I thought they might have put Sophie Clayfield on it because she rode it at Alex that day, and there's been a bit of a Razor's had a couple of rides on it, and Sophie's only had one. I thought they might have given him one more on it.
Number 8.
I won on that horse at Balnarring.
That's where you won on it.
And they're done it hard on the bridle. And Rod Grantley's a good Kiwi trainer. He trains out at Calvin Southey's barn in Mornington, and he knows what he's doing. So don't be scared of it when it gets up.
Well, I'll put it in my box try. Thanks for that.
Along with the field of the rest of the horses that's in it. So
I think I might.
I'm not sure that we're narrowing this down for anybody. We're just showing everybody why we reckon that they can all have a good crack.
I'm actually considering going field because I could win. Chili Dog. Your mate Dylan Dean's on it, Shaun. Trained by Peter Foster. Don't bang it. Always thereabouts, Chili Dog. We reckon it'll be up near the lead, don't we, Danny? So it's definitely $6.50, definitely in the race.
The only thing that cheeky old bugger can do is sometimes he can stand a bit flat-footed in the gates. He can be a bit of an old brat. But I tell you what, on his day, he has run some absolute crackers. And that last run at Ararat, he was in it for a long way. It was a really, really solid effort. And the other thing a few people have sort of forget about these horses, these guys are used to running on concrete. So coming to Cranbourne on a softer track, that's also going to be another interesting thing that people will need to keep in mind for some of these horses.
Yep.
These are tracks that have been not being maintained, they've been upgraded. So they've got the sandier, sort of looser surfaces and that, so they're not as concrete as what they're used to. So sometimes you need to keep that in mind with some of these. But mate, Chili Dog, he is an old cracker. He looks sensational. Saw him at track work the other day. Peter Foster's team have gone really neatly at the end of the season. That other horse won super well at Balnarring the other day. Danny Allen.
Marrera will give him a good ride too.
That's right. Dell's looking forward to it. He's excited. And he was riding really well at the end of the season too. So there's not really anything that you can ride off in this race, I must say.
No. We're up to number 9, last striker out, trained by Nicole Dixon, Madison Morris, 18s.
One of your favourites, Shaun. You've had a few good runs on her.
Yeah, any sting in the ground, she doesn't really like it. But if it was concrete hard, I'd nearly declare her. Yeah, a nice ride from it. It might let down, might not. You never know with her.
That's her only concern is if there's a sticker wet on the ground, she just doesn't let go at all. But she's a cracker on her day too. And Rebel Tantrum rounds us out with Lynn Sands and Craig Kirkpatrick. Interesting runner, has run a couple of absolute crackers, but whether she's up to these, we'll find out. Gets in with the lightweight.
And the reserves, or emergency, Space Cowboy, Anything But, Cheeky Prince, and 11B. The only one there that probably has a chance, you would say, would be number 11, Space Cowboy, which we chatted about today. And it's got Sophie Clayfield claiming 3 on it. Good on her. At 23s, but of course, if it gets a run, it'll come in from 23s.
Yeah, and look, beautiful horse, free rolling horse. I don't think the surface will bother him at all. And I don't think the draw will bother him either. It doesn't matter where he'd possibly inject a little bit of pace into this, where there's only sort of Dishes and Chili Dog, I think that'll probably be 10, and Colossal Star maybe that'll be sort of going forward. There's not really a stack of pace in it. And but it's going to be a very interesting played out race. All
right. So these are my selections. So don't pay attention to me. I'm going for number 6, Seedall. I'm going from number 1, Gwenny Beg. I'm going to put Dishies in 3rd, Shaun. And I'm going to put Femme Americaine in 4th. I think it'll be doing all its work very late, Femme Americaine. And I'm going to make the call that the top 4 will cross the line with no more than a length and a half between them all. How's that?
You're going to actually box them up and have a bet?
Absolutely.
As long as he's only using your money.
That's right. No, of course I'll be having because we're having a bet on it. The first few races tomorrow night at Cranbourne are maiden, so I think I'll be hanging on to my money for them. There's some actually good trainers.
That's our man. That's our man, Danny.
Absolutely. For those of he does own some shares in a horse, or a couple of horses actually. What have you got? 3 or 4 horses now?
Who, me?
Paul?
Yeah, I got 4. Yeah. Well, so I got Splash of Paint, which you train. I've got Strong Lady and All Too Creedy and Aperol Sprint, which Don trains. And Aperol Sprint's just coming off a spell. She loves the wet. So we're
Yep.
looking forward to her in some. She ran third at Sandown last time in.
did.
So we're looking forward to seeing her. And so that's why I have no money.
You own 2% in each of them?
5% of Creedy.
Oh, sorry. Yes. So that's all right. That keeps you out of mischief. You own a nostril.
I still claim them as mine. I own a couple of strands of the tail and a couple of eyelashes.
Absolutely.
That's all right, isn't it?
That's all right. I'll even cut some off, Prim, and we can send it home for you and you can cut it.
I don't think she'd like that after last
It's
night.
about being part of it, mate?
That's exactly right, Shaun. And
that's what it's all about. It doesn't matter what percentage you got. It's all something to have an interest in, and it's great fun to get along with your mates.
We've only got 5 minutes left, believe it or not. It's gone so quick. So just on that, we've all heard about the story of All Too Greedy and the $12.50 share horse that we all got involved in last year. This gentleman here, when he got him to win Horse of the Year with all those wins, I know for a fact Shaun wasn't happy that he'd actually won the race. He was happy for the owners. If anybody ever saw me celebrate with any of those wins, it was embarrassing. But I'd always go on the mounting yard.
It was priceless.
It was
absolutely priceless. That's what it's all about.
And every time, me and Shaun had a hug. And we have a bit of a bromance there. And you just, as I said, you knew Shaun, he wasn't doing it of course he wants to win, but he was so happy for us owners, and that's what made it special for all of us. So, you've got 2 winners for assists, time in with Strong Lady, and of course the main owner, Colin, Steady Jam got you a few wins as well, mate. So you're all very, very much loved by the syndicate.
Yeah, no, you're all good blokes, and it was really good to get you on board last season. It takes little things like that, to get people on board. You're running a little radio show out in the van.
Yep.
That was probably one of my most memorable moments last season when we talked to my mum back in New Zealand. So
we did. That was awesome,
man.
That was brilliant.
If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have got that little feeling, But
all good, mate.
And even though you got a little small share in the horses, you're on board this season, and hopefully for the next on and on and on and on and on.
Always, mate. As long as Don's still training, mate, and you're still riding, I'm not going anywhere. There's always plenty of other horses coming through. Now, we've got to quickly get this dirt on you, Shaun. Okay, I'm not going to tell you who's it's from. You'll work it out. So I
was going to say he'll know, because I reckon I already know too.
All right. So
how do you know the question?
All right, here we go. Just let him know that a full-blown Aussie makes a better singer gang than him. Even Emma agrees. Is there any truth to that?
There was, until 24 hours ago, and I actually got declared. I got declared that was my best stinny of all time.
All right.
So, and he knows it too.
All right.
I even told him this morning at the track.
Right. We've already worked out who it's from.
I said I'll bring you a little takeaway, and he goes, "No, I'm going to do it. Doing it tough till Friday, and I want to ride the horse Contribution really light. Blah blah blah." So yeah, he don't want to bar of it.
So who asked that question, Shaun?
Oh, our big dog Henza.
Well done. Then he's really had a dig at you here, mate. This is I'm thinking we got to start a fight here, Danny.
Mm-hmm.
And tell him that he's the premiership jockey and he gets around sniping Dylan's rides. Ask him if he's going a bit shit for money. He will get embarrassed there.
Yeah, feel the boy. Yeah,
you're sniping Dylan's rides.
I can't say a few of the boys. I can say one of the boys got a bit upset this season. He wanted one ride, and I was happy to give it to him, but the trainer wanted me to have one ride on it to try and get it qualified for. He thought it could win, which it did, and turned out to be one of my most favourable winners of the season.
Oh, Shaun, yes, you're sniping people's rides, mate. So thank you.
That's how competitive it is out there, mate.
Thank you to Henry. Dylan didn't get back to me with anything. I don't know whether you scared him off, mate, or I don't know.
He's busy fishing.
He caught a snapper earlier in the week, and he said he caught a leather jacket as well. So
Yeah.
he's had a bit of success just pottering around out the back here.
He's-
I shouldn't say out
he's
the back
asked-
here. He's been
he's
out
asked-
all night and it's
he's
freaking
asked- He's asked me and Henry every single day this week, you coming fishing? You coming fishing? We're like, no, we got shit on, mate.
Well, I asked him and he won't take me. So, yeah, you know who your friends are, don't you, Shaun? So,
I'll get into him Saturday morning when I see him at Trackwood.
I'll get into him Friday night when I see him.
Yeah, true.
So, we've only got about a minute left, Shaun. So, this is the very last show.
So
So, we're saying goodbye to our friend Chris. He's heading back to the States. He wants to know, after tomorrow night, win, lose or draw, can you come around to your place and have a couple of beers with you and Emma?
Too right, he can, mate. And Nelson. Nelson will chase him around.
and you're going to cook him a good sinner gang?
Yeah, too right.
All
It's all ready to go, mate.
And, mate, good luck getting him on the plane, because once he gets to your house, mate, he don't leave. All right, Emma will have to
He's
kick.
proven that with him issue.
Tell Emma to put him
Right,
in the back of the ambulance. That'll sort him out.
We'll put him behind the canary.
I love it,
Mark,
mate. See how long he lasts.
So a big thank you to Fran and Peter Bond too from Picnic
Picnic
Bet for the year and for uploading this dribble and
Absolutely.
entertaining
It is dribble.
banter that we've had with each other for the season. Thanks to everybody who's been on. We are going to try and scam a couple of people on through the year, but we'll all find out how we go with that.
We'll keep you posted. We've only got a few seconds left. Thank you, Danny, for we've had a lot of fun, and we're going to continue.
It's been very entertaining.
It's been very entertaining. Thank you, Shaun. Congratulations again, mate. You're a bloody legend, as I always call you, mate. And I will see you,
mate.
See you both tomorrow night, and of course the Picnic Awards coming up in a few weeks' time. Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate you watching the show and letting us keep you entertained. Everybody take care and good luck to everybody tomorrow night. See you later.
Good luck to all participants tomorrow night. Catch us all later. Bye.